All right, so today is Sunday. Like I said, before we start, let me start by creating a mental picture in your head. Okay, I need you to picture somebody that is in between two worlds. This person is from this world. Okay, just picture it as a spy holding a telescope. Taking a view into another world. All right, yes. So taking a view into another world and then seeing the activity, watching how they do things in order for him to fit in. So that's the mental picture I want you to see. Yeah, that is me. Just see me as a spy holding a telescope and viewing into another world. I'm saying this to disclaim that I am not here to teach people how to be wealthy. I'm not here as a financial coach or something because obviously I am a student. Yes, I am a student that is learning, that is willing to share his experience from what he's seeing, from what he's learning. So I'm just sharing my experience during this journey of learning. Okay, that's it. We're good now, right? Okay. So I said I was going to share what I learned from the world of the word of the. That is to say, we actually live in different world. Yes, they have their world, and we have ours. That's the first thing I will let you know. We don't live in the same world at all. As we're progressing, you understand why I say so. In their world, they have the way they define things different from ours. For example, your definition of business is any activity that involves the exchange of value for profit, for money. Any activity that involves the exchange of value for profit. In fact, for us, if it's possible for us to replace that word profit for money, we replace it. Like, we really love money, I swear. We really, really love money. It's not like they hate money, but there's a way they define their own business. So this is how we define our business in our world. From the school we attend, from the system we met, the system we just met. We don't know who created it, but we just met it that way. But you see, these people, they don't define business the way we define ours. Have you come across the definition of human ecology? That is how they define business. Let's define human ecology. Human ecology is the study of human behavior and their environment. That's how they, in their world, that's business for them. Before they come into exchange of. So they wouldn't want you to see that as really business, but that's their business. What they do is they study they study their behavior. They know how humans operate. They want to know first, what they do first, they know you. They pay people, they pay this data analysis. That's it. They want to know every human. I feel like we should talk about human, just a little. There's the way you react to what you hear. These five senses pass an information to us, and then those information make us who we really are. There's the way we react to what we hear. There's the way we react to what we taste. Yeah, those that are into food business now, there is the way we react to even the hearing, the music, information. There's a way we react to what we smell, what we feel. So this is what they are after. So what they do is they create a system that controls, these senses, your feelings, because you're going to feel. Your emotions are tied to these senses. These feelings end up creating an ecosystem for us. I want to let you know that from what I have learned, we might all be living in this world, but we live in different ecosystems. That's where our belief systems are different because of the information that is in us. Some of us from birth, maybe from the family we grew from the society we find ourselves, the things that has entered our ear, the information we've gotten, create an ecosystem for us. So it turns out to become who we are. So whatever we do, our values, definition of business is exchange of value, right? So what makes you value something actually is who you are. Yes, it is the foundation of the belief system, the foundation of the information that these senses has made in you based on your environment. Okay, we define human ecology the other time as the study of human and their environment. So your environment creates you, and then your values. So what you actually value, they want to know why you value this. They want to know your value before they start business. Yes. Do you know there is an ecosystem that believe that cooking oil is capable of changing your sales. Like that cooking oil, if you take it to a particular building and then a man says some word into that cooking oil and then you exchange it, you pay money for it, you sow, they call it in that ecosystem, it is called seed. They will sow it. Please, nobody should criticize me. I'm just being realistic. I'm a Christian too. So they pay money for that cooking oil. They take it to their shop, sprinkle it somewhere around the shop, and they believe that it is going to increase their sales for that day. Like, that is what is going to increase their sales. So they've paid the price. Now they value that cooking oil. There is a value they have placed on it because of the environment, because of the information. So what the wealthy do, they don't just create products. They are trying to create a control system. So when you are doing business for profit, for money, they are doing it for control, for power. See, power, their own is after power and control. So they want to know you and how to control you, because once they can control you, what they are after, what gives money is value, right? So they want to attack that your value. They want to know what you value. Do you know there is this ecosystem that believes that once you are sad, they believe that at that particular moment you are sad, what they need is to get high. So they value loud, they value beer, spirit, alcohol. They pay for it because from their ecosystem, that thing is of a great value to suppressing sadness. So while you're paying for it, somebody is cashing out from it. You understand now? You understand why the wealthy, first of all, study human behavior and their environment. You get it? And then another thing I have noticed about these people, they are not moved by feelings. The wealthy, they are not moved by feelings. Maybe after this one we'll talk another one, then we'll call it a day. They are not moved by feelings in their world. But you see ours, almost everything about us is determined by our feelings, by what we feel. And you know what? Even what we feel is as a result of what we believe. Yeah. Somebody believe that if he kills plenty people, that there are 12 virgins waiting for him somewhere. Somebody believe that. There is a feeling attached to that enjoyment thing. Like they react to it. Wow, 12 virgins. I can imagine waking up in the morning and beautiful 12 virgins around me. So there is a feeling that is attached to it already. So they are reacting because of that feeling. Every human feels. Even the wealthy, they feel. They are human too now. They have feelings. The only difference between us and them is that they think before they act. Once the feeling come, they start thinking of values. They start thinking of values first. After weighing the value, they will negotiate. They will negotiate the value. They will now decide if it's worth exchanging a value for. When the feeling come, they will think first. They go negotiate inside their head, if this feeling is worth exchanging a value for. But you see, for our world, once the feeling come like this, takes control. It is after the act that we start thinking. Do you know there are apps now that people subscribe some thousands of dollars for just to see naked women? What a way to exchange value. Oh my God. You see, that feeling of seeing a naked woman has created, someone created that app, right? That person knows how you value feeling. That person knows that you are ready to exchange a value for feeling. So the feeling that a naked woman gives to you, you subscribe to. Oh my God. Some of us, when we are high, when we are really high, the next thing we think about is to knack. Now, after being high, you order for OS. You buy her food, she go chop, maybe she go drink. After una don do the main deal finish, you give her, sometimes, I don't know, according to story that I've heard, I'm not speaking from experience, sometimes it's 20,000, 25,000, sometimes 50,000, 100,000, depending on your ecosystem, depending on your area, But what I'm after is you just exchange that amount of money for a feeling. God, the wealthy, they think before they act on feeling. If the thing no go feel, if the value no worth am, then no they go. You understand? But because we value it, we act on our feeling. Do you know? Sometimes there are people that makes vows in church that they can't pay because of feeling. Just because they are feeling like people will start seeing them as poor. I don't want anybody saying that this small pass for this church. And whereas you really small, money really no deal. But because of feeling, you come outside and then feeling. Do you know there are people, because of club, that feeling they have in clubbing every week, they save money for feeling. They save money just to spend it again to satisfy that feeling. There are people that actually buy clothes because of feeling. They buy phones because why do everybody use iPhone now? Because there is this philosophy, there is this ideology, the feeling that is attached to it. So if you are using an iPhone, you are a big man. So there are people that buy phones in spite of the value it returns to them. They don't think about it. It is the feeling. So they are exchanging that value because of the feeling. People buy phones because of feeling. People buy clothes to look rich. They buy it because of that feeling of, some of them, when they don't even wear them to occasion, their steps they change. They walk differently. There's this behavior, like they are very wealthy, whereas they are really not. So the feeling of we chase after feelings, our feelings control us, but the wealthy, no, they are not like that. You get it? So most people even buy cars because of feelings, just to feel like they are rich, whereas they are. Some people go say that because I don't get money, well, I really don't get. Like I said before, I'm just a student that is learning and sharing this experience. Okay, so but it's true. People do things because of feeling. All right, I think we're going to stop here today. We've been able to establish some things today. We'll continue next week Sunday until we get to where we can do practical. But for now, let me just be telling you what some of the things I've learned from them. Okay, maybe till next week Sunday. Thank you.